Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. FBI thwarted an attack in Corpus Christi, Texas. This individual's in some big trouble with the law, 21-year-old. Is he Seth or is he Andrea? What is this individual's name here? Gregori, Gregori. Look at these eyes, folks. Oh, he's in some big trouble. Corpus Christi, Texas, 21-year-old individual arrested by Corpus Christi officials and the FBI for thwarting a similar attack to what happened in Dallas back in 2016 when the Dallas Police Department got ambushed and shot and killed. Numerous officers lost their life. Come on in, this guy. Interesting because I've been doing a extensive background on this guy, particular him or her and his brother Jonathan. We're going to talk about these individuals and also monitoring a situation at the University of Virginia. Apparently there's a shelter in place and authorities are searching around for this guy right here. So we're going to talk a little bit about a few cases out there. This is out of University of Virginia. Apparently there's a shelter in place only because he's a gang member. Some crazy stuff is going on in real time. So we're monitoring that situation too. JLR Investigates. Come on in. We cover true crime 24/7, 365. Who is this guy? Is this a guy or a girl? It's interesting. It's scary. Plus, you know what's interesting about this is, Caleb Harris is a case in Corpus Christi that we've covered extensively, so a lot of people think what happened to Caleb Harris is a murder. This individual here lives pretty close to where Caleb Harris lived, the cottages in Corpus Christi. We're talking pretty close in the same age. What in the world is going on here with these cases? So this is Corpus Christi. And authorities put out an alert. They put out an alert. I'll show you the tweet, and then we'll get into this individual. Not much media coverage on this person, but I can say that this person here has a brother named Jonathan. A little bit older, I believe. A few years older. And this person's brother plowed their U-Haul deliberately into a taco truck or a taco facility a few years back. So these people seem like there's some troublemakers in paradise in Corpus Christi, Texas. So this is what the FBI put out. We got to bring public awareness to these potential mass shooters, school shooters, bad actors, people without a soul, lost individuals. Look, folks, Corpus Christi, FBI. Breaking: FBI, Corpus Christi, and local partners have thwarted another mass casualty attack. FBI, Corpus Christi PD arrested Seth, a.k.a. Andrea Gregori. Gregory? Is it Gregori or Gregory? Without a Y, it's with an I. Today on state charges filed by the county DA's office after he planned an attack on police similar to the 2016 Dallas ambush. So we got that situation there. So mass casualty attack prevented. Why isn't this getting much media attention? And who is this individual? First news clip. It's a short clip. Local media there are talking about the case, but beyond local, it's not out there. And we got to know our potential terrorists out there. This guy could have done some serious harm onto the police department. But why? Why would this wackadoodle want to attack a police similar to what that other wackadoodle did in Dallas years back? Who is this guy or girl? Years ago, police referred to him as Seth. Now he's preferred as Andrea. So there is a local media clip, and then we'll get into the taco stuff and his brother. But this happened in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Attack. It's a plan that was discovered and stopped by Corpus Christi police and the FBI.
The attack reported to be against our own Corpus Christi police force. The arrest made by the CCPD and the Houston branch office of the FBI, the person known to law enforcement as 21-year-old Seth, but also known as Andrea Gregori, is in custody, accused of planning an attack on police similar to the 2016 attack on police carried out in Dallas.
Now, the Nueces County District Attorney's Office tells us that he is in custody tonight. We will, of course, continue to follow this story and keep you updated both here and online as more information becomes available.
And as of this morning, there's not much information available about Seth Andrea Gregori. Now, we live in a scary world, ladies and gentlemen. Case in point, just over the weekend, in a 24-hour span, our nation lost 3 law enforcement officers in the line of duty. York, Pennsylvania. We covered that mass shooting. Could have been much worse, but an officer lost their life. Virginia Beach. Traffic stop over a simple license plate resulted in 2 police officers being executed in cold blood by a felon who shouldn't have been in possession of a firearm. Now, we have another wackadoodle. Just a day later, after all that crazy stuff, gets arrested for plotting and planning an attack on police officers. What is going on in the air with people wanting to attack police officers? Texas officials thwart potential mass casualty on police, not against citizens, on police. This one wanted to do a attack on police. And here's a mugshot right here. I'm going to read this article right here. Texas officials thwart potential mass casualty attack on police. Irony is, when I just turned on to this guy's photo, we have 666 people in the chat. We got 666 people in the chat right now. It's probably going to rise shortly. 666. Oh, yeah, we got some 666 going on with this guy right here. Now we're past 666. We got 762. Yeah, it rised. It rised. But as we were showing his face, dun, 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 666. This guy got some Richard Ramirez vibes to me. Now, why in the world would a 21-year-old who was born as Seth, his name is really a guy because I got pictures of him when he was a kid. He's a guy. But he goes as Andrea or Andrea. Why would a 21-year-old, previously known as Seth, now known as Andrea, want to commit a mass shooting onto police? Police. A mass casualty attack was thwarted by Texas officials Monday after learning a suspect allegedly made terroristic threats against police officers. Seth Andrea Gregori, 21, was arrested on terroristic threats charges by the Corpus Christi Police Department. The FBI was notified of Gregori, and I'm reading this, pure evil. Pure evil. The FBI was notified of Gregori making terroristic threats against Corpus Christi Police Department officers. The Federal Bureau of Investigation investigated the threats and secured the arrest for Gregori. Gregori was planning an attack on police similar to the 2016 Dallas ambush. In that incident, 5 Dallas police officers died. Killed. 5. And 9 were injured after a protest was winding down. Remember that? That was committed by this guy. I actually took his photo. Remember this guy? Some people say he is a black supremacist. Black supremacist. Johnson. Micah Xavier Johnson. July 2016. Ambushed. 6 Dallas police officers. 6 killed. 11 injured. Total. This incident here. So, this incident was really bad. Really, it wasn't, YouTube and true crime wasn't really out there at the time. Otherwise, we would have been out here reporting this guy. So, now we have Andrea wanting to be like that guy and do the exact same thing. But this time in Corpus Christi, Texas. Corpus Christi, beautiful. Going out to those beaches. Beautiful in Corpus Christi, right? Know your evil. The Corpus Christi Police Department greatly appreciates the assistance of our local, state, and federal partners in helping keep our community safe. Their support is vital to helping us accomplish our mission to reduce crime, the fear of crime, and enhance public safety. I got another photo of him too. Look. Look at this individual. Richard Ramirez eyes. For sure. Richard Ramirez eyes. Oh, another guy we're going to talk about too, by the way. I'm going to talk about this guy. What in the world happened here in Florida? Look at this. The Island Boys. Guns, Oxycontin, Florida. This is our society, folks. This is a rapper known as one half of the Island Boys. Arrested yesterday. But this is the society that we live in nowadays. Some people idolize this guy. Champion him around. Some of the live YouTube streamers like the Island Boys and bring the Island Boys as celebrity appearances. This is your role model. Know who your role models are. If you have children out there, know who your role models are because you don't want to be like this. This is not cool. This is not normal. Island Boys arrested. The Island Boys. Now we have another guy that looks like the Island Boy, wanted in Virginia. This guy's wanted. And we'll talk about him in a second. But I want to go back to Andrea. Andrea, the mass shooter, the potential police shooter. Corpus Christi put out his image out there on their police department website or on Facebook announcing. But he's only charged with terroristic threats. He's only charged with terroristic threats. Assuming his bond is very weak. But guess what, folks? This person, Andrea, was previously Seth. Right there. Years ago. This person... That is Seth Gregori. Gregori. And this is Seth now as Andrea. Person went from this to this. Now this is an interesting, and this is his brother Jonathan. And we're going to talk a little bit about both of them in a second. Bring public awareness because those two were missing. And reported missing by their families years ago by the Corpus Christi Police Department. And they featured them. They featured them in this report here, which is very strange. And we're gonna talk about these two. I'm gonna go back to the original post here. Corpus Christi Police Department. The teenagers have been located. This was in 2018. Thank you to everyone who assisted us in the search. Corpus Christi police detectives would like help from the public to locate missing teenagers, Jonathan and Seth. Jonathan and Seth were reported as runaways on January 3rd, 2018. They ran away. Upon concerns that were discovered during the course of the investigation had led detectives to seek the public's help in locating their whereabouts. What is the concerns? What were the concerns? Jonathan is described as a 16-year-old male, 5'5", 120 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. Seth is described as a 14-year-old male who stands 5'4", 115 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. Jonathan is pictured in the gray hoodie. Seth is pictured in the black polo shirt. Fast forward, this is 2018, ladies and gentlemen, and now the potential shooter looks like this. Went from that to this. So I do want to put that information out there. Now, I also want to talk a little bit about the brother, because it seems like the brother of this potential terrorist, potential shooter, also had some problems with the law years ago. And this was a crazy incident that happened where the brother actually put, let me get the brother's photo out here again so I can show you. We'll blow up the brother right here. The brother, Jonathan Gregori, plowed his U-Haul into a taco truck and fled, almost like a mass terrorist attack. 2023, April 19th. Oh, the day before April 20th, 2023. U-Haul truck crashes through Taco Palenque on Saratoga and driver flees the scene. A Corpus Christi Mexican restaurant is heavily damaged this morning after a motorist drove through the front of the building. Employees of the Taco Palenque said around 3:30 a.m. a person driving a U-Haul truck crashed it in front of the restaurant. It was around 3:30 in the morning, and I had just finished taking a customer's order, actually, and then not even 5 minutes later, a U-Haul truck smashes into the building. Luckily, there was no customers or employees there. Yeah, luckily. He would have been like Chai Dester with all those kids. Remember the older woman that plowed her vehicle into a boating house where kids were having a party? Oh my gosh. She had court the other day. We were going to play that court hearing, but she's guilty. There's no reasonable doubt on that one. Though her lawyers try to say that, she had a medical condition. Whatever. But she plowed her vehicle into a facility with children. Similar situation here with this guy, the shooter's brother, Jonathan. He plows his U-Haul. Why is he plowing a U-Haul? Into a taco business. Witnesses say the driver of the U-Haul ran off from the scene but came back a short time later and was taken into custody. 22-year-old Jonathan Gregori was arrested while driving under the influence. That is the brother, folks, of this guy, Seth, a.k.a. Andrea Gregori. So these people have been in trouble with the law in the past. And now he is involved with committing or planning to commit a mass casualty event against police in Corpus Christi, Texas. So his brother is also a ding-a-ling, a wackadoodle, plows his truck into a taco truck or a taco business. I actually have that clip here from that incident that happened a few years ago, 2023.
Walk into a taco stand. Assignment manager Mark Liu is live at the desk with the details from police. Mark, this was no accident?
Yeah, you know, Amy, police say it wasn't. They're calling this an assault with a deadly weapon, and they've taken 2 people into custody. Let me show you the scene and what this looks like. When we first saw this video here at the assignment desk, we checked on it as if it was just an accident, but LAPD now tells us this afternoon that they're classing this as an assault with a deadly weapon incident after the driver of that pickup brandished a gun before trying to leave the scene. It happened at about 1 a.m. on Manchester near Vermont in the Vermont Knolls area. LAPD officers responded here for this traffic collision. They found this green truck had crashed right into the taco stand here and that van. Now, there were no injuries, thankfully, but witnesses at the scene described a situation where the driver and another man got out of the pickup truck, brandished a handgun at the taco stand workers before trying to get away. Well, LAPD was able to locate both men from that green pickup and take them into custody. They're being held on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon. Now, it's unclear if the victims and the suspect knew each other, but LAPD detectives are continuing to interview everyone here and investigate, looking for any video as well. That is the very latest here from the desk. I'll send it back to you.
So, more charges. Where's the mugshot of the brother? How come there's no mugshot of the brother Jonathan for plowing his vehicle? Now, this is the brother of the potential shooter. How come there's no mugshot of him out there? I tried to find a mugshot. And who was the other person that got arrested? Who are these people? Who are these people? Seth? Now, his sister was out there defending him. They were putting screenshots. And the sister is out there saying that he's mentally ill. Or she's mentally ill. Is it a she or he mentally ill? She or he? Reagan. Screenshots being passed. He's been mentally ill since he was 13. If you people knew or understand, y'all wouldn't be so quick to jump at anything about anyone. And she's talking about her brother right here. Mentally ill. He went from Seth to Andrea. Know your wackadoodles out there. Oh, we got a picture of the other suspect. Let me break in something else while we're talking. I don't know if you guys are aware, but a suspect is on the loose in Virginia, and this photo has been put out there. So I just want to jump to this real quick as this is starting to circulate online. His name is Nyeem Hill, and he is a felon, a gang member. And what's going on here in the University of Virginia, UVA orders staff and students to shelter in place as wanted man is spotted on the grounds. And they shared this photo of this wanted man. The University of Virginia has issued a shelter-in-place order amid a frantic search for a suspected gang member who was spotted on their grounds. Staff and students are urged to avoid Nyeem Hill, who is described as 6'4", black man wearing a gray hoodie. He was last seen on foot near Alderman Road dorms. So I just wanted to break this in because the entire campus at the University of Virginia is on lockdown just because of this guy being on the campus. Not like this guy did anything on the campus, just him being on the campus. That's what it looks like. And I'm going to see if I can get some information about this incident. It is on lockdown right now. Yes. So we have a lockdown at the campus right now at the University of Virginia. So people, he is wanted after he allegedly fled following an off-campus traffic stop near Ivy Road. He said, they say he's a known gang member with an extended criminal history, this guy, and requested the public to avoid the area. Hill is being hunted by state police with the help of campus officers and the Charlottesville Police Department. He has no affiliation whatsoever with UVA. So I want to put that out there. And they are also circulating this guy's photo right here, which is here. Right here. So this guy, folks, is wanted by authorities. If you see him or do not approach him, he's considered armed and dangerous. Probably avoided a traffic stop because he probably couldn't drive. Or he probably ran from a traffic stop because he probably couldn't drive. He's probably one of those types that didn't have a license on him. And he didn't want to go back to prison. But again, it shows the mass panic and chaos out there with any of these types of shootings. And we're talking about shooters out there. Mass shooters, potential shooters, criminals. They can really do serious damage when it comes to whatever their target is. This guy runs into the campus as a wanted person through the campus of the University of Virginia. And of course, everything goes on lockdown, shelter in place. UVA. UVA, shelter in place. While we're talking and we're waiting for more information, I do want to share, going back to this guy. Now, we're just going to lump him in because we're talking about crazy wackadoodles. This guy is called the Island Boys, rapper Franky Venegas. And this guy here was arrested. Naples, Florida, south of me. He's part of he's part of that social media influencing group that's on a lot on YouTube. But he's had extended criminal history in the past. This time he's in trouble again with the law. He was arrested for gun and drug charges in Naples over the weekend. He was pulled over. He was in a Corvette. He was in the passenger, and they found pills, Oxycontin. And they found a gun with no serial number. The rapper shot the fame with his twin brothers as TikTok influencers 20201 with their viral hit, I Am an Island Boy. He was 23 years old. He's arrested for possession of controlled substance without a prescription and delivering, possession, selling a firearm with an altered serial number. The sheriff's office said in an arrest record. TMC has reported that Venegas was arrested around 10 p.m. over the weekend, Saturday, when a deputy in an unmarked vehicle pulled over a yellow Corvette, leaving a gas station in Naples and ignoring a traffic stop. You know, if you have children out there, teenagers or things, and say, hey, and you're from Florida, and your children say, hey, I want to go up and go to an Island Boys concert and everything like that, tell them no. This is not your role model right here. This is not your role model. Look at this. It's like a space alien. Like a creature. Now, I guess some of these kids like to do this as part of their brand, or they just want to be eccentric, or this is just what they want to tat out every nook and cranny on their body and look strange. Sells, right? Sells. It sells. The most unique people get the most money. Island Boys. I never even listened to a song in my life by the Island Boys. Have you? Look at that. So basically, the license plate tags of the Corvette were expired. A woman was driving in the vehicle. He was the passenger. They were told to get out of the car. A plastic baggie of pills were found on the passenger side of the floorboard. A deputy identified them as Oxycontin, 10 milligrams, 7 in total, 5 oxys. He had oxy. He denied that they were his pills. But then he claimed he had a prescription for him, so he gave conflicting statements. What an idiot. What an idiot. A further search found a brown handbag with the lettering MGM on it. MGM. According to TMZ, a handgun was found in the bag along with a clear plastic cut straw. Here you go. Credit cards with his name were on the bag. The gun, spray painted blue, had no identifying serial numbers. In the center console of the car, a cut straw with a white powdery substance inside. It was found. Where it was found. Cocaine. Venegas is also identified during this arrest as a documented gang member associate. Him and his twin brother Alex shot to fame as TikTok influencers in 2021, the Island Boys. He has a criminal history, including domestic battery. Oh, yeah, so he doesn't treat women well. Reckless driving, operating a vehicle without a license, drugs. So he's not going to get no time for this, I don't think. And I just wanted to just bring in the wackadoodles out of the woodwork as we talk about going back to this guy. Mass shooter stopped. Andrea, for people that are coming in the chat, FBI once again thwarted a potential attack. So this seems an interesting pattern in the last few weeks, something I haven't seen in a long, long time, where the FBI is arresting people before the acts are committed. Before, not after, before. So that's a good thing, right? Yeah, I think it's an excellent thing. The borough prisons have some weird policies. Let me tell you something. Well, he's only charged with a terroristic threat. But even some states have a crazy because policies. Because as we discussed, he used to be Seth. That's his name. He went from a boy to now going by Andrea. But what's crazy about some of these state prison systems is these males or females could actually, as long as they go in there and say whatever gender they want to be, that's the prison they get housed at. So in reality, this guy is a guy named Seth Gregori, but he would be allowed legally to be housed with female prisoners. In some states. Some states, no. Some states, yes. Borough prison has a policy. It's a discretionary when it comes to counselors and case managers in the placement of these individuals. But it definitely was being exploited and abused around the country in these prison systems where people of opposite genders would ask to be housed in a prison with opposite genders, for whatever reasons. But it's scary that places would actually do it. Now some have repealed that, or some have created new laws saying that it has to be what is on your birth certificate, and that's what goes. What is on your birth certificate goes, kind of deal. This person here, who has a brother named Jonathan, who has a sister, don't know much about the individual's parents. Seems like they all lived in a house in Corpus Christi together. Now, I'm not trying to create conspiracies here, but I do want to show you something, because there is a young man by the name of Caleb Harris, and we covered Caleb Harris. We covered Caleb Harris on JLR Investigates. ended up being found in a pumping station near where he vanished in the middle of the night. Now, my opinion, I believe that Caleb Harris was murdered. I don't think it was an accident how Caleb Harris got to the location where his body was found. I don't think he went through a manhole and worked his way down through across the cornfield. I don't believe that. I believe someone either met Caleb Harris, or Caleb Harris was talking to somebody on the internet and went out there and something very, very bad happened. Now, I'm not trying to connect anything here, but I'm just saying you got a Caleb Harris, 21 years old. You have a 21-year-old here. Alec or Seth, now and Andrea, doesn't live too far from where Caleb Harris lived. Doesn't live that far. Caleb Harris case over here. This individual lived over here. Now it says 7 miles. 7 miles, 7 miles. Yeah. But I always wonder with the Caleb Harris case. Now I'm going to zoom this out so people know what we're talking about here. Matter of fact, look. Caleb Harris lived directly across from me in the Gulf of America. Dude, I lived this is me on the coast. I live literally due west. Or due east. They're due west of me. Literally, I mean, you can't get more. This is more. Look at that. Boop. From my house to Caleb Harris's house. Or to Corpus Christi. Practically due west. I live east. Well, let's go back here. The cottages with Caleb Harris. Now, I want to share here that the mystery of Caleb Harris murdered, you know about it, the cottages. Right off the main road there, there's an overpass. Caleb Harris, he was living in the cottages. Found across the cornfield over here, a little pumping station, right? Well, this lunatic here that was just arrested, same age as Caleb Harris, doesn't live too far. And then, not only that, which I think is weird, and this is where my mind's going. I don't know if you guys want to think. It's probably nothing, but my mind's thinking, okay, this guy here, or her, him, her, Andrea, 21 years old, arrested for plotting to kill Corpus Christi police. Why was he trying to kill Corpus Christi police? For what, though? What beef does this individual have with the Corpus Christi? Were they investigating him for anything? Was he questioned? What do you think? You think it's something to something? Or nothing of nothing? Just wanted to throw that out there. Because to me, it's like, whoa. I do believe there is a murderer on the loose in Corpus Christi that murdered Caleb Harris. I don't think it's an accident. And I do think it's centered around Caleb possibly talking to someone on social media. Maybe for a quick hookup. Maybe for something. In the fog. Some people say he was on different sites. I don't know. Maybe authorities should ask Andrea. What was the exact date of Caleb Harris? It's actually coming up, right? It was like 1 month after, I think it was at the end of March. Let me get the Caleb Harris date here when Caleb Harris officially went missing. That's a whole sad case. I can't even imagine what the family of Caleb Harris is going through. Can somebody give me a Caleb Harris date, the actual date, so we can remind everyone? Can someone give us a date when Caleb Harris went missing? March 4th. March 4th. Year. Where was this person? Where was this person around March 4th? And why was this person trying to murder Corpus Christi police officers? Why? What do you get out of that? What is your beef with police? Like where you would actually try to plot an attack similar to the Dallas attack. What would get somebody to do that? Colleen says it's a massive reach to connect. I agree. I'm just throwing the information out there that this guy here, a 21-year-old, was planning to attack police in Corpus Christi, and the case of Caleb Harris still remains unsolved. And I believe the case of Caleb Harris is a criminal investigation. And someone, I believe, did something to Caleb Harris. Someone. And I don't think it was his roommates. I really don't think it's his roommates. The people in that house. I don't. A lot of people spread around roommates. I don't think it was the roommates. Somebody. And I don't think he went and tripped into a manhole. Do you? Dude, you can hardly fit in those manholes. I stood on those manholes. Yes, you can. Caleb's bigger than me. I'm like 175 pounds, listed at 5'11". 5'11", 175 pounds. Now, I stood on those manholes, and I don't think you would have to stuff. You would have to stuff me down that manhole to fit down that manhole. You can't just fall in. And I looked all over those cornfields. I didn't see any manholes or any ways someone could fall into a manhole. But you had to work your way to that pumping station. Now, maybe you did a hookup with somebody in that cornfield or something like that, and something got out of the bag, or someone that was witnessing something, and someone panicked, and someone took Caleb and stuffed Caleb at the pumping station, or dragged him to the pumping station, put him down there. But that case, to me, no way it's not foul play. I believe it's 100% foul play. So, who did it? Who did it? Because usually the criminals that do things to someone usually reoffend or commit more criminal acts. Very hard to have a criminal do this type of thing. If this was criminal with Caleb Harris, it's hard to assume that the person that did this does not have a prior record or won't do something again. There's demonic, something in these people's eyes. For sure. Now, I don't know, folks. You tell me. What happened to Caleb Harris? And March 4th, where was him? Her? Where was this individual? March 4th of last year. Doesn't live too far from Caleb Harris. Well, at least we got to bring awareness to Caleb Harris today. We talked about the Island Boys. Let me go back to Nyeem Hill a minute, and let me just see if there's a UAV. I'm gonna see a UAV. We're gonna talk about this other person here for a second. The wanted criminal UAV. I want to find out if this thing has been solved yet. UVA. Shelter in place. Has it been lifted? Man spotted on campus. Deranged man. Has it been solved? Wearing a hoodie. And here's the thing with the hoodie. The hoodie difference between here your hair. You wear the hoodie. Your hair gets put down. Take the hoodie off. Your hair puffs out. Your hair puffs out. All right, folks. Well, that's all we're going to talk about this morning in reference to these people. If you see something, say something. We got our eyes on this case out here in Virginia. The case of Caleb Harris, still a mystery. And we say no to the mass shooters out there and all the bad actors out there doing these criminal acts. Now, before I go, I just want to check something real quickly. UVA, University of Virginia. Now, I want to just see if this thing has been at ease. University of Virginia. Yeah. Still a situation, but I don't see any live feeds going on. If you see something, say something. For sure. All right, so if more information comes out about this shooter here, potential shooter, we're talking about right here, we'll share it here on JLR Investigates. Sub to the channel, like, hit the notification button. Interesting stuff for sure. Got some other things we're going to be talking about in a bit, so I'll be back in a bit. Stay safe out there. It's a wild world out there. And let's pray that there isn't any more mass shootings. And kudos to the FBI for stopping these people before their act. That's the way it should be. There's so much intelligence and so much intel out there. They should 100% know before these things happen and stop it. Not after the fact. We'll talk soon. I'm JLR Investigates. Stay safe, everyone.